brother, and I like your beautiful turban wrapped around your head. You know, well, I've seen you around, and I've seen you, talk a lot about yourself and all that. And I must say that I'm very, very impressed to have you right here in the studio. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Aho Kagya, what is the meaning of that?
No one knows.
No one knows. Not even you.
Yep.
Wow. Now, how did you come by a name that you don't know?
My dad gave it to me. Basically. So yeah. It's actually, I think, a name from two great men. So, yeah, basically. So, that was given to me.
Two great men?
Yeah.
Do you know if they were Indians, Africans, or Japanese?
Africans. Actually.
Africans. Yeah. Interesting. So, Aho Kagya is my guest right here in the studio. Listen, we're going to have a very interesting conversation. I hear your father is a pastor, true?
Yeah, Archbishop, yeah.
Archbishop, wow. Is it Archbishop Duncan Williams?
Nah, he came before Duncan came.
Oh, he came before Duncan?
Yeah.
What's his name?
I can't say.
You can't say?
Yeah.
Interesting. Wow.
Fire! Fire!
All right. So walk me through your birth. When were you born and to which parents and where?
I can't reveal specific details because of certain things.
Things like what?
Let's just say sometimes as basically I'm a spiritual leader at this point, right?
Okay.
Not everything has to be revealed before a specific time because there are specific people who would want to collapse you when they have specific types of information. So specific things such as exactly where I'm from, exactly who my parents are. Unless those who knew me before I started, I don't have a problem. But for certain reasons, I don't reveal specific type of information.
So you don't reveal your date of birth, you don't reveal where you were born, right?
Exactly.
Were you born in a hospital or at home?
I think I was born in a hospital and I was brought home.
Born at a hospital and brought home. Aho Kagya is my guest, the oracle. This is the boy who knows everything. So do you know everything?
I would like to say I don't know anything. I just get information. Just like how you have your mobile phone and you may not know everything, but Google has a lot of information, same as me. So basically I have, let's just say, a library within the ethereal space which I can access for a lot of information.
Okay, I'm going to accept that. Now, walk me through your upbringing. What kind of family were you brought in? Which schools did you go to? I know that you went to Presec, right?
Yeah.
Which schools did you go to before Presec and after Presec?
I grew up in a very strict Christian home. Right? Brought up in the proper Christian way. You read your Bible, you pray, you fast, whatever Christians do. I had to do all that. For my primary school, I don't think I've ever said it anyway, so I don't really want to say it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why, you're not proud of your primary school?
No. I don't even care if I went to a government school. Like I said, there are specific information I never
They should be happy to have you tell them that this is where this great man, a spiritual man, went to school. A lot of people are going to be encouraged. They are going to be spreading it all over the place. Oh, he's actually from our school. And they'll be proud of you. You don't want that?
Not really at this point.
Not really at this point. All right, so we let it slide again.
Yeah. But after primary school, I did go to Presec, like you said. I've already said it, at other places. So from Presec, I actually I had the opportunity to be selected from by two places because I had the pharmacy or doctor of pharmacy as a main course to do. Yeah. So Legon chose me and Tech chose me as well.
Right.
So actually I went to Tech because I grew up in Accra and I wanted to explore another place.
Interesting.
Right? So I went to Tech.
Oh, you went to Tech?
Yeah. But due to the nature of this job, I wasn't allowed to finish my schooling.
Oh, who didn't allow you?
Let's just say the voices that speak to me.
Oh, the voices. Oh, so you have the voices of evil spirits talking to you every now and then?
It depends on how you frame it as. They have made me.
Okay.
So they give specific instructions. So they tell you, leave, do this, do that. So if you don't, there are repercussions. So when the repercussions came, I was like, it is better to offend human beings than to offend things you cannot see. So,
interesting.
yeah.
So now I'm getting to understand you better. You are not really a mentalist. You are more of a spiritual being who listens to the voices or hears the voices of the unforeseen.
Very good. Yeah.
Interesting. And the unseen.
Fire! Fire!
My brother, my sister, we're going to have an interesting conversation. His name is Aho Kagya, the oracle, the boy who knows everything. And he again says he's the boy who knows nothing, but he's privy to information concerning everything. This is 92.7 in Living Stereo, and I just want to remind you that we are all over the world via the internet. As you can see yourself on the big board here, everybody's watching us around the world. Before I came into the studio, I told many that I'm going to have a very interesting personality in the studio. Now we're going to go into your life. At what point did you decide that Christianity was nothing and you had to move and listen to voices of people that you couldn't see?
Okay, so basically, like I said, I was brought up in the Christian way, but I have always been inquisitive. So I started being super inquisitive at the age of 4. And bear in mind, at that age, I could still hear those voices, but it's almost like you're a kid, so it's like you're pretending, something of that sort, right? So for myself, Christianity to me wasn't a path I can follow from when I was a kid, but you know, you live under a roof, so you have to keep quiet for a time being. So during that time, I had the opportunity to meet a plethora of people, and I'll name them as my guides, basically. So from the age of basically, I think 7 or 8 till the age of, I think 16-ish or 17-ish. Yeah, I had proper upbringing from various people who all, of course, disappeared after they came into my life, and up to now I don't really know where they are.
Who are these people?
They are people who just appeared.
Oh, they just appeared,
Yeah,
not regular people.
Exactly. So you may see them as regular. So my last guide was an old woman. I said the story every single time. She appeared on us in Presec, Form 1. So when she appeared, she came as like a street beggar, asking for money. So when I was receptive to her, she told me to follow her, which didn't make sense. But then I was like, what can happen? I followed her, and then after a few hours of walking, we were in an open field, and she told me my name and told me she would be the last person to like take me through this thing, and then she showed me a few other stuff which I still employ till today.
Wow. Now, this old woman that you saw, did it look like a Ghanaian woman? What was the accent like?
She spoke Tree. She spoke actually like fluent Tree, like Abrantiers, that kind of thing. Those, but it had this Equiapem tonality to it, and she was a good woman because I knew her for I think a year and a half, and then that was it. I didn't hear.
She kept appearing to you. What exactly was she telling you apart from follow me?
She would show me stuff. I practice. I'm more into the dark arts than the black art. Than the light arts. So she showed me the understanding of necromancy. She even showed me.
Necromancy.
Yeah,
I see.
So necromancy, blood magic, basic principles within the spiritual sphere that I should know before I do anything, because no matter what you do, there are repercussions. So you have to know all the repercussions and ask yourself if you can do it or not. So basically, she taught me all those things, and then she helped me because I can properly see. I can see at all without the glasses. Yeah.
Oh wow.
So she helped me polish my ability to read people. So that's where the mentalism thing came about, actually, where I read people and stuff like that. And like she was able to guide me properly, and she even gave me access to what I call the ethereal library. So she gave me access to it, and she showed me no matter what question you are asked, if you do not know, yes, you can say you don't know, but as soon as you do ABC, you can access this type of information from this point.
Interesting.
So, like certain religious people say they were in a trance and they were in a library, and then they open a book and then they see some information. We've had Indians say they were just there and then a mathematical formula just appeared out of nowhere. So those kinds of stuff. So she showed me how to access those things to make life easier for myself. Because when I did start this thing, I quite remember I was trying to talk to people about spirituality and whatever it is, but I wasn't extremely fluent. I only knew what I knew. So if you ask me a question that I don't know, I'm off. So she taught me how to access this, and from that time onwards, I haven't been... no one has asked me a question based on spirituality that I didn't have the answer to. Really? Yeah, and that helped me a lot. And it also helps in this work as well.
Interesting. Okay, so talking about necromancy,
Yeah.
it has something to do with the dead,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you are able to tell what killed somebody 10 years ago?
Basically, if I have access to the person, so it's like a time frame. You see, we live in a world where we do not really understand distance. Everything has a rule set. So when someone dies within a specific time frame, you can access the person, and you can only also access a person if someone close to the person kind of gives you permission.
Yeah, right.
Or unless you're able to use devious means to have access to the person before they died. So that's how necromancy works. So for me, for example, if you tell me to, let's say, contact Nkrumah, it isn't possible by any means.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Yeah, it isn't possible by any means unless someone who is very close to Kwame Nkrumah comes to me. So if you check the Bible, necromancy is there. I think it's in 1 Kings. You realize Saul went to access Samuel.
I remember that story.
Saul and Samuel were like father and son. So that's how the oracle at that time was able to access him. That's why Saul also got pissed. Because if Samuel got pissed, because if Saul didn't come, it wouldn't have been possible to have accessed him. So people, but today's world, I've realized people don't even know the rule sets. And because we have a lot of fakes around, most people don't even know the rule set. So everyone gets up and they're like, I can contact this, I can contact that. And in my head, I'm like, no, you can't. Like, even I have a mobile phone, but I cannot call Nane Kufuado because I don't have his number.
You don't have his number, no.
That's it. Like, no matter what I do, I can punch in various, it won't contact him. Till someone gives me his number, I can't. Same with necromancy. So, yeah, necromancy is, it has its, let's just say it has more negatives than positives.
Oh, okay.
Because you have a lot to sacrifice. You are going into the unknown. You have no idea where the person is.
Right.
Because I always tell people, the land of the dead is almost like this world. Everyone is in a different district, and every district is governed by a different entity or a different thing or a different principle. So if I am going to access someone and I don't have a specific type of information, the probability of me dying from that act is also very high.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, after how long should a person die before you are able to contact the person? And after how long would you not be able to contact this dead person?
So, the best is the first 3 days.
Oh, okay.
Or the longest should be a week. Right?
Oh, 1 week.
After a week, it becomes extremely complicated. So let's say, when was the last year client came to me? I think, was it last year or last 2 years? Her uncle had died. And I think it had been over a month. And I tried accessing it. I didn't get any information on the first time. So I always tell people there are always tricks within the industry. So I employed a few of my tricks and then I had access. But if I didn't have experience, that would have been the end of me. Because I had permission, but the time duration is gone. The person you are now accessing is already living a different life, and you are going against specific rule sets. So you meet things that are way bigger than you, and they'll query you.
They'll query you.
Yeah. So the longest I tell people is like a week. After a week, that's why Tetseno, you see, if they go and do a bisa, when a person dies, immediately after like 2-3 days, they just go and ask. They don't wait. They don't wait to do. No. They ask immediately. They don't wait for a week. They don't wait for 2 weeks. No. That's because of the time frame. When it passes, it becomes a very complicated thought.
I hear your father doesn't like these things that you are doing. He feels embarrassed about that. True?
Not embarrassed per se. I'll just say we don't see eye to eye on various principles, but we also see eye to eye on various principles. That's all.
Have you told him things about him?
Not necessarily. I don't. He's my father. Like I have respect for people who have trained me, and no matter what happens, I have respect for the elderly, especially if you've trained me to a point. So even if there is a negative, I sometimes tell my mom a few negatives about my own dad, but I'll never tell him his negatives. It becomes a sort of disrespect. So if I'm even telling my mom, is to tell her, look, if you see A, B, C, don't bother yourself. That's all. You get it, so that they don't quarrel over unnecessary things.
Is your mother supportive of what you're doing?
I wouldn't say supportive, but I am her son.
Okay, I understand that. Monkey don't fight by mother like him. Okay, so I'm going to ask you another thing. It just came and went away. Are you into a science or you are into spiritism?
I feel spiritism in itself, it's a science.
Is it?
Yeah. Because if you look at the major sciences we have in today's world, they all originated from spiritism or spirituality. Look at medicine. Today, they are called medical doctors. Back then, they were called witch doctors. Or back then, they were called witches. Actually, they were just plainly called witches. Witches are people who concoct medicine. Wako to be edru. Translate to English is you just did medicine. So basically, now things of the past have been remodeled, and now they've been sold as science, like engineering, like how should I put it, mathematics. Like all these things were things of the occult. If you've done research, you'd realize mathematics, languages, even sigils are basically languages. You look at the Egyptian hieroglyphs.
Yes. Hieroglyphs, yes.
Okay. But you look at all those things, you realize those were things that were being understood by only spiritual people.
Exactly.
Common people didn't know these things.
That's right.
But today, everything has been pre-packaged and has been named as science.
To support what you're saying, I mean, in Jamaica, witchcraft is called science.
Yeah.
Yeah, science. So when they, in Jamaica, in Jamaican patois, when you call somebody a scientist, it means a witch or a wizard, somebody like that. All right, so we're going to get deeper into this. Do you do blood sacrifices and all those things?
Yeah, I do blood sacrifices, but I don't necessarily sacrifice humans.
Why? Are humans not good enough to be sacrificed?
Not necessarily. So there are many principles. Like I said, I deal with only principles. Yeah. So there's I'll just name it as the karmic principle. It states point blank that whatever you do, it shall be done unto you, right? But there are specific rule sets. When any species of any when any species kills its own type, there's a mark that is placed on you, and the species of that type gets to hate you. That's how it works. So when I kill a specific number of goats, those goats predominantly start hating me.
1 second, producer, I'm hearing some boom, 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 boom in my ears. I don't know what is happening. Please tell the person to ease up on us, man. We're doing a live show and I'm hearing noise in the microphone. All right, man. Please run it.
Okay, so so predominantly, if let's assume I kill, let's say, 1 million ants. Every ant now who just sees me would have a specific fear of me and will be hostile towards me. So that's how it works. So with humans, if I decide to kill a human, unfortunately, I've breached one rule that states we should never kill each other. That is, no species should kill itself. That is why black ants don't kill other black ants. They will kill a red ant. If you look at it because they feel they are different. With humans, we are all humans. We have the same blood. We have mostly the same genotype. So because of that, if a human kills another human, no matter what reason it is, you would face the same thing. So this thing, if you want to find it in the Bible, it is during the time when Jesus was about to be arrested. Peter took his sword or his knife and he slit the ear of one of the soldiers, the soldier servants. And then Jesus said, nope, don't do this, put it behind. For he who lives by the sword will die by the sword. He was trying to show him that principle. It was like, if you do anything, it will be done to you. Stop, don't do it. If he dies, you are off. So the same thing. So because of that, like I said, everything has its consequences. To be fair, I don't want to be sacrificed myself. So I don't think I'll be sacrificing anyone.
Can you die?
Everyone can die.
So you can die.
The goal of all life is literally death. That is why we are called mortals. The goal of all life is death. Our soul is the immortal form, but our bodies are mortal. They are fragile. So, of course, I would pass on from this body if I don't.
So a gunshot can kill you?
A gunshot can kill me.
Yes, you Aho Kagya.
Yeah, on the right occasion, it can. But the thing is, how would it touch me? That's the question.
When is the right occasion?
That is, let's just see if the person gets lucky to shoot me properly.
Okay, but on a normal day, a bullet will not penetrate your skin, right?
No, every time I walk, I think of my own well-being. A lot of people have tried. I'm not popular yet, but a few people who have seen how dangerous I can be have tried to off me 1 or 2 times.
Wow.
You wouldn't meet me. That's the question. You wouldn't.
All right. So if a gunman comes into the studio right now and opens fire on you, would you survive it?
The gunman wouldn't be able to open the fire. That's the point.
Interesting. I like that.
Fire!
So my guest in the studio is Aho Kagya. And he's the boy who knows everything. He's the oracle. Now, what you're dealing with is African spirituality, right?
Yes.
Have you had the opportunity to meet other spiritualities from other parts of the world, like Indian spirituality, Japanese spirituality? Is it all the same?
Yes, I have. I even have a few friends, Indians, even Jamaicans. What's it called? I don't think I have a Japanese friend. I've talked to Japanese people, but not necessarily But from what I have picked on, this is how I'll say it. It's more or less, we are all looking at one elephant, but from different sides.
Right.
That's the only thing I figured out. We are all looking at one elephant, but from different sides. So most of the time, I never say one's belief system is entirely wrong, but I say there's an iota of truth to whatever everyone is saying. So to get a bigger picture, you always have to step back and observe. So that's the whole bit. So with that, but there's one thing I also realized. In this industry have divided everything into 3 bits. That is religion, spirituality, and mysticism, right? I always say with religion is what most of the time we see, because that's where our belief system comes into, right? Because spirituality most of the time doesn't really have the time for belief systems. So with what we entail as religion, it's predominantly something that has to do with the people and the land. That is why it becomes dangerous when a specific nation adopts another nation's religion, because you aren't on their land. Your history isn't their history. Like if you check the Jewish system, it's because the Israelites moved from one location to another, basically, and their conditions are different from every other person's condition, even if they moved. So their concept, of course, will now be different from, let's say, the Akans or the Eves culture, because theirs would also be part of whatever they went through. So with that, that's where it becomes a very dicey topic. That is why, for me, I always encourage Africans to always try to understand their history, even if they want to borrow something from an outside.
Interesting. Do you have sex?
Yeah, I'm not a virgin. So.
Okay. All right. So you are not a virgin. So do you continually have sex?
On specific occasions. I am not.
Okay. So you are married?
Not entirely.
Okay, not entirely. So that means you sleep with different women?
Nope.
Okay, one woman?
Yeah.
Okay. So how does sex relate to your spirituality?
Yes. Okay. So with sex, I think it has 2 forms. That's the physical and the spiritual form. For the physical form, everybody knows of it. But for the spiritual form, there is a form of energy you obtain during that particular occasion. And that is why I say I don't do it continuously. There are specific occasions, because also sex can also be a hindrance to your spirituality.
Wow.
Yeah, because within our brain, there is a hormone that is released, right? It's released from our brain down to our spine, and then it comes back up. If you release your semen at the time at the duration of that procedure, you become what I term as spiritually inert, in the sense of you are not as sharp as you're supposed to be.
Oh wow.
So I have a schedule.
Oh wow. Okay, so what does the schedule look like? Is it once a week, once a month, once a year?
Sometimes it can be once every 2 months.
Once a week, right?
Maybe sometimes once every 2 months. It depends on what I'm doing. We are fasting this month.
Okay.
I wouldn't do anything.
The whole of the month.
Yeah, basically.
From what time to what time?
From the people who follow me, it's from 6 to 6. For me, I do it till my body's about to break down. Then the time duration, I break, and then I continue afterwards.
What kind of food do you eat? Do you eat meat? Do you eat pork? Do you eat fish? Do you drink alcohol? What do you eat and drink?
Okay, so I don't drink alcohol. I have my own reasons for that. I'm not saying it's bad or anything. For meat, I'm picky on meat. I'm not vegetarian. I won't lie about it. I'm not vegetarian, but I'm picky on the meat. If I eat a specific meat, it has to resonate properly with my body. If I feel it becomes toxic to my body, no matter what happens, I'm not eating it.
Do you eat pork?
No.
Why?
Pigs are nature's, what's it called?
Scavengers.
Very
right?
good. And because of that, they have a high resistance to a lot of diseases. I don't have those resistances, and prevention is better than cure. I can't say because I'm spiritual, I'm going to be reckless.
So what you're saying is that when we eat pork, we actually are susceptible to so many diseases.
Exactly.
Who are those listening to this? The other day I talked about pork and they were going to slaughter me. All right. So Aho Kagya says that the pig is a natural scavenger, and therefore it has so much resistance against diseases. So when you eat pork, you are opening yourself to attack from all these diseases, right?
Exactly.
Aho Kagya, thank you for that one. All right.
Fire!
So now let us go into you. I hear you are able to read the mind. I hear you are able to put things in people's minds.
Predominant.
So that they will tell you what you want them to tell you.
Yeah, yes. I mostly try and cover up that bit up, but predominantly. Yeah.
Okay. Can you read everybody's mind? Or there are some people whose minds you can't read?
So like I would say, everything can be done if the conditions are met.
If the conditions are met. So if I ask you to read a mind right now, what would the conditions be?
I don't want to be tagged more or less like a mind reader every
that's
single
right.
time. So most of the time I actually have reduced that bit, else whatever I do, they'll say he's just reading the person's mind, basically. So you wanted to demonstrate something?
Yeah. I wanted
okay, so
that is if it's okay with you, because I don't want you to feel.
I don't have a problem. In spirituality, everybody hears of the third eye. So that's something I started saying, okay, let me gear towards that part in terms of spirituality. It has more meaning than when you talk about what's it called, mind reading stuff, right? So there's an experiment I do, and this experiment is something that is funny because already without my glasses, I'm basically useless with my eyes. So I started doing this a long time, but I realized people are not convinced so easily. So there are specific parameters you have to use, because at first I used to use cloth to tie my eye, and they tell you the cloth is see-through, which is a possibility, right? So how do you? Then I started with a metal blindfold. So I think this is the oldest one I have. You can actually see it.
I can see that. It looks like it's from the cemetery.
Yeah, exactly. It was actually made from scrap metal. So you can testify this is kind of like metallic, right?
Yeah, very metallic.
Yeah, exactly. Then when I started, people are like, okay, you can see through his nose, which is weird. I don't know how that would be possible. But anyway, so that's when we introduced maybe a duct tape. So can I have a piece of paper?
Piece of paper. Yes.
Okay.
You certainly can have a piece of paper. Where's my producer? He's going to give us a piece of paper.
Yeah.
So that we can deal with it.
If your producer can come and help me out so no one sees I'm the one doing it.
All right. Producer, come in, please. Come in and deal with it. Yeah.
So that's what we'll do, right? You know about the third eye concept?
The third eye, yes, right.
Basically, it's just a pineal gland. A lot of people are not aware of it, and that's why Indians actually protect that spot very well. Yeah. So this is just to show people how meditation carried to the next level can occur, and Indians have shown this time and time again. But in Ghana, people are not well trained enough to do that properly, right? So first, I'll take off my glasses, and you can testify whether this is medicated. People think I'm lying. People think it's just something I'm just wearing. But do you have? My eyes are very bad.
This is heavily medicated.
Yeah, my eyes are very bad.
I can't see anything. I see blurred images.
Very bad.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so can you take a piece of paper? A piece of paper.
Piece of paper. All right. He has a piece of paper, a big one, or just a little bit of it.
Yeah, but so a piece of paper that you can fold and make it thick.
Okay.
So, that's basically it. So,
okay.
Yes, he has seen this dance several times, so he knows what's all about it.
Okay.
Okay, so this is extremely too big. Okay. So we need something, and I think this, if you ask a few Indian monks, they can replicate exactly what I'm doing, right? So make sure it's not see-through. That's the first condition. It's not see-through, right? It's not see-through. Check this one too. It's also not see-through.
Yeah, it's not
right?
see-through. Yeah, you can't.
It's not see-through. Okay. So this is what we do first. We try with this first. So don't worry. This way you help me out. Because of this, it pisses me off. Anyways. So okay. So you see how you take strips, right? And then it should be vertical, so maybe it's orderly.
Okay.
And what you do is you now. Okay, let me take this off. Okay.
You cover the eye totally, right?
Exactly. This is just the beginning.
This is just the beginning.
Good. So now take strips and then start covering the eye till there's no space. So take strips and do it vertically. So yeah. If you do it horizontally, it becomes now haphazard. That doesn't make sense. Just do it vertically.
Vertically.
So you are aware. Very good. Okay. And please cover us.
Make sure it doesn't touch his beard, so when he's pulling out, it doesn't pull out nowhere.
Actually, you're the only person who has been sensitive to this. Most people are not actually sensitive to this. Okay.
Wow. Our producer is closing every little hole. Lord God have mercy. All right, so Aho Kagya is my guest, and he's trying to demonstrate something. I don't know what he's trying to, but I can just see that he's trying to tell you that he can't see anything through this.
Yeah, so basically, yeah. So he has basically covered as much as he can.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, can I have the blindfold?
Please give the, yes. Okay. That's it.
Okay. Okay, so this is what we do. Can you help me?
Yeah, okay. So you're going to put this heavy metal in front of your eye.
Exactly.
Make sure it doesn't take off the turban. Yeah. Right. Okay. Good. All right. So I can see that you are well blindfolded.
Exactly.
So, yes.
Okay. So most of the time, right, when you do this, then now the people can. So, Black Rasta, please, you can verify there's no possible way.
No positive way,
right?
No.
So right now, I want your producer to come to my right and sit to my right. I'm not a left-handed person. That's why I want you to predominantly sit to my right. And please hold my hand.
Hold the hand.
So now that's what we do. I mean, just with one hand. So Black Rasta, pick any item. It could be an item from your pocket. It could be an item from whatever, and then hand it to him. Please, before you do it, show it to the camera and then hand it to him.
Show it to the camera.
And as we are doing this, please verify there's nothing in my ear. No, there's nothing in my ear.
Nothing in your
If
ear.
you touch the turban, you won't feel any sort of earpiece or anything.
No earpiece or camera.
The main reason I'm saying this is because when I do this, people are like, "There's something in my turban." Like it's a funny thing. People are weird. Okay,
Yeah.
so please, when you're done, give him an item. Please don't let him make noise, cause my ears are still active.
Very active.
Okay, so when he has something, please let me know.
Yeah, he has something.
He has something.
Yes.
Okay. So this is what we do, right? With the concept of the third eye, people are not smart. This is where the third eye is. I have to look at a person to be able to see with this. But before I start cheating that way, right? I'll just use my hand. And is this something I learned from a Japanese monk, right?
Okay.
He was a blind monk. He came to Ghana. I think that was 2007, 2008, and I learned this from him. Please don't let it touch my hand, right? But whatever it is, hover it on my hand.
Hover it around.
Yeah. Don't let it make noise, no matter what. Just hover it on my hand, right? Okay. Are you hovering it?
Yes, it's hovering it.
Okay. If you're waving it, stop. I can feel breeze. So if you're waving it, stop. Do you think I touched it? If you think I touched, you can switch it. Okay. Can you hold it at the tip of your finger for me?
Okay.
Okay. So that it becomes different. Does it make sense? Okay. So now just hover it on my hand. Don't move it. Just hover it for me. Okay. With how you are like no and whatever, and I'm guessing this thing is something extremely small. Yes.
Yes.
That's the first thing. So this is just a guess, right? So now we'll go off a few elements from this whole thing. Does it make sense? Yes. So most people are not aware that air, when passed through various objects, it makes a specific vibration. Right. People are not aware of this, and it's still spirituality, but people don't know. So this is what we do. Okay. Okay, very good. This is metallic, right?
Yes, it is.
Very good. I'll try, because this is something that is small, so I'll try and check exactly what's inside. Okay. I feel. Okay, it's almost like it also has a board of a sort. So this would be an electronic device.
Yes, you're right.
Excellent.
That's correct.
And it has nodes, and these nodes basically are 16 bits by 16 bits. So it should be a pen drive.
Pen drive.
Okay. No, the notes just shows that I know some of these things. Okay, so I'll pick another random thing. It should be extremely random, right?
Okay, all right.
It should be extremely random, right?
All right, extremely random.
Extremely random. Something that no matter what it is, like.
Okay, so I'll pick out something. Let the camera show what this is.
Let the camera show it.
Okay, the camera can show this. All right, that's what it is.
Okay.
All right, so that's it. All right, so I'll hand it over to the producer. He will make sure it doesn't make noise.
Yeah, please don't make sure it doesn't make noise.
Yeah.
Okay. When you have it, please let me know.
He has it.
Okay. The AC in this room is weird. Okay. Let's try something else. Okay. So same thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This thing belongs to me. It's my glasses. It just has my feel. I don't know why this is just next to me. All my items have my imprint.
3FM.
It's easy
This
to detect.
is 3FM.
It's mine, right? That's my glasses, right?
Certainly it's your glasses.
Yeah, okay.
It's certainly your glasses. It's certainly your glasses.
Okay, let's try the last then.
Okay.
All
right. Okay.
Okay, and let's make it a. So to prevent people from thinking, okay, now I can hear these objects, right? Black Rasta, pick a piece of paper and write something on it, and then you hand it to me. And whilst he's doing that, please, you can either write or draw. So make it so it could be something of a mind game. You can either write something, draw something, or write a sentence, whatever it is. Yeah.
Okay.
And when your producer has something he should just touch me.
Okay.
And then we can start from there as well.
All right. Yes. He's bringing me a pen and we're going to deal with that. So this is all a science, right?
Yeah, it's basically, it's something that I always tell people have you can research this. In Japan, they had what was called the blind ninjas, and these were people who literally used a huge plethora of sciences, from hypnosis to sound science, that is sonology or sonography, to so many things to deduce a lot of things. And mostly I tell people this is spirituality, but this has nothing to really do with the upper stages of spirituality. I'm just showing you the basics of everything. Because if I say I'm using spirits to do this, I may be lying. So I'm just telling you this is an actual science that also explains why blind people know the difference between 5 CDs and 1 CD. But you would touch it and you'd be like, how did he know? To you, it feels the same, but to the blind person, it's different. Okay, Pacho, if you have something, let me know.
Yes, he has something right now.
Okay.
Thank you so much. The camera too has seen
So,
it. People outside have seen what I've written, which you
wrote,
haven't seen.
You wrote it?
I wrote it, yes.
Okay, can you put it in my hand? This is something that he has written, right?
Yes.
Is it here or in? Because
It's inside,
folded?
in between, yeah.
It's inside.
Yeah, that's where it is,
Okay,
yes.
so for this, I don't need your hand. Before I start reading this, can you give him one more object?
One more object.
Yeah, so that it acts as, yeah?
Yeah, one more object is here. That's it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so let's do this. I just want something to act as. So just touch me, right? You have something in your hand, yeah? Okay.
Yeah. All right. So those of you who are not seeing this must be logged onto Facebook, and you can see us live. Something interesting is happening right here in the studio.
Okay. So. Okay. Okay. So we'll do colors for this, which is funny. Spectrum. It's not within the spectrum, so it should be white.
Yes, it's white.
Okay.
Yes.
So if it's white, just okay. Okay, it's plastic in nature.
Yeah, it's plastic. You're right.
I feel some bumps, so it should be some sort of remote.
Ah.
A clever guess would be like we don't. It should be a difference between TV remote or AC, but TV remote is black, so AC. Right?
This is AC. You're right.
This is 3FM.
What? This is deep.
Okay, so where's
This
the
is
paper?
deep. So what kind of science is this?
It's a mixture of a lot of things, and people. I don't want a lot of people to figure it out.
Okay.
That's the whole point.
Are you selfish?
Yeah, yes, in a way.
You don't want to teach people?
Yes, I don't want to.
Okay.
I said you don't want to teach.
This is 3FM.
Oh, God. Not necessarily. It took me over 5. Basically, yeah. Okay, over 12 years, basically.
So you want to die with
Yes.
it? You don't want to impart it?
Yeah, not necessarily. So, is it written here or here?
Yeah, it's written where you just stand.
Yeah.
Yeah, there.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay. Can you put my... Wait, when you touch it, can you feel anything? You can?
No, we can't feel that. It's
You
not
can't, right?
It's not a braille something.
Okay. It starts from here?
Yeah.
Okay. It's weird, isn't it?
It is weird.
This is 3FM.
All right. So he's checking it out and he's telling us what it is. Oh my God. This is weird.
Wait, has anyone done this before?
Nobody has done it before.
Okay. Okay, this is more difficult. Let's see.
He says it's not difficult. Yeah, that's what he says. He's
Starts with
double
a K,
blindfolded.
right?
Yeah, it starts with a K. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, K.
Yeah. What? Okay, give me a sec. I'm slightly confused.
Don't be confused.
Okay.
Okay, so he got the first letter right. That is a K.
I have like 27 letters to go up. Okay.
This is 3FM.
KU, so cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, KU, cool.
The audience knows.
No. Yeah. The audience are aware. Everybody's aware. So if you
Okay.
make a mistake, everybody would know. So cool is correct. Cool. Yeah.
Kuchuku or something.
This
What's that?
is
I don't know
3FM.
what I feel.
This
What
is
was that?
3FM.
Is that it?
Oh yes, you got it right. Kuchoko,
okay.
Kuchoko. Oh my God, have mercy. Oh my God. My producer is shocked. He's wondering what is happening. But he wants you to read his mind though. He's been looking for a woman to marry all this while. All this while.
Where are my glasses?
Please give him his glasses.
Okay.
So thank you so much, Aho Kagya. I mean, I'm seeing that you know your art really. You truly know your art. I mean, to be double blindfolded like this, and you are able to tell what we've written on a piece of paper. At the same time, you are able to tell, I mean, what object is held in front of you and even behind you.
Yeah.
My God, that is crazy. That is truly crazy. But you say it's an art form, right?
Yeah, I consider this I consider all spiritual stuff an art form.
Okay. So with my producer, he really has a big head. Is it easier to read his mind? People who have bigger heads, is it easier to read their
No,
mind?
it has nothing to do with the shape of the head. And
Okay.
like I said, I'm trying to gear away slightly from the mind reading, only because I want to focus more on spiritual stuff. And if I am tagged in a way, you understand how the media is, it becomes impossible to remove that said tag.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, when I started, I did do mind reading only because I wanted people to understand, look, I can do a plethora of things.
Yes.
But now that I am fully focusing on exactly what I am doing, I'm trying to negate some of these stuff out because still, to be fair, I don't know how to explain them spiritually. So that's the problem. Because else someone out there would be like, oh, your mind games. I don't want that at all when you're talking about
Well, it depends on who it is. Mind
Yeah.
games. Let them come and play the mind games and let's see what
Yeah,
it
it
is.
is.
Because
Yeah.
this is deeper than just mind games.
Yeah.
You understand? All right, man. So you are not interested in reading the mind of my producer, right?
No.
So he should go.
And he looks familiar, to be fair.
He does. Maybe you saw him in the spirit world. Maybe he's a reincarnate of because he's the modern day Melchizedek. He actually has no beginning and no end. Please come back. He's going to drink water and then he will read your mind. What you did yesterday, all the dirty things you did, he's going to be able to tell you. And,
Am I supposed to?
And then
now there's something on my mind right now.
there's something on your mind right now.
There's something like
No, I've done something with him before. I swear.
You've done something with him before?
Do you know Socrates?
yeah, he's one of my
Yeah. Have you been to?
KFM.
Yes.
Yeah,
You remember me?
I think I do.
Don't kind of lie. You remember me?
yeah.
Yes. That's you see why I say that.
This is 3FM.
So Caleb, why were you trying to lie? So you know him, right?
No, so you see, Rasta, well, maybe what I experienced at OKFM, I would refer to it as something with a flash.
Okay.
So I wanted to have another experience
Okay.
on my platform now, since it wasn't on my platform.
But you never told me that you know this man. I mean,
you see, so that's actually the reason I am your producer. So there are times we need to do these background checks on these people, so that when they come, we allow them to do that.
at least you should have told me that you know this brother that we're trying to bring into the studio. You didn't. When I suggested that we had him in the studio,
But when you got the idea,
Yes.
I didn't say no, did I?
you didn't say anything.
Exactly. So which means one way or the other, I know what we are coming to discuss and what we're about to do. But I also want to have that experience.
So he has read your mind before.
We've done an experiment before. Like I said, I don't do specific things now because of where I'm leading myself to. I make a notice.
Yeah.
I know what I did to him.
Yeah.
And I know in his head it has now become a puzzle.
Yes.
Which spirituality shouldn't be. Spirituality is a journey, not a puzzle to be solved.
That's right.
You get it? Now you're coming to me to solve a puzzle.
Yeah.
And then you become more confused and you want to solve another puzzle.
And you may
which
go
I don't
crazy.
want.
You may go crazy.
That's the point.
You may end up at a psychiatric
You
hospital.
so genuinely, if you are honest with yourself, you're not coming to truly experience. You're coming to truly try and solve the puzzle that's being in your head, because it's a puzzle now.
Huh?
That's the truth, and I don't want that. Like I said, I'm trying to be a spiritual person, not a puzzle for people to solve.
Caleb, you've missed your chance. Thank you. All right, so Aho Kagya is in the house. I'm glad that you were able to pick him up. I mean, I never knew that he had any experience with you, but I certainly never had any experience with you, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, are you a demon or something, a fallen angel? Because this is a man who is dealing with blood sacrifices. This is a man who is ungodly. You don't believe in the Bible. You don't believe in Jesus Christ. You don't even believe in God. When you are asked what God is, who God is, you say it depends on what you mean. You know. So you don't worship. Do you worship?
No, I'm basically a loan contractor.
Okay, so people worship you rather.
I don't think so. I don't really think so.
Nobody worships you?
I don't think so. Worship even, you see, that's the funny thing. The term worship means to highly adore.
Yes.
If someone respects you, in theory, they worship you. So
really?
That's why I say words can be some.
Do people come to you hoping that you will lead them to heaven?
I don't promise anyone a heaven.
Is there heaven? Is there anything called heaven?
No heaven. There is no hell. It's all an experience.
So when people die, where do they go?
They move on. It's almost like when so people always come to me and say, if you say there is no heaven, when I die, where will I go? Right? You when you came today, you may have stepped on an ant. Yes? The ant is dead. Am I right? The ant has a soul, whether you want to believe it or not. Because in Genesis, it says he created all the souls. No problem. So the ant basically has a soul. So where did the ant go when it died? Was it judged? Did they go to some room where there are a lot of elders, where they are now judging? They put the ant's profile. They are telling the ant he didn't accept Jesus. Is that what happened? So that becomes a funny thing. So what made me realize certain things do not really exist was when I started the path and I saw some things. And if you're only basing everything on also what you know, then it's also what happens to my dog when my dog dies. Because if you have a pet, you realize the pet has a form of intelligence. So what happens to that pet? Because if the pet does something that you consider bad, it realizes it as well. So if it has a conscience, it knows good and bad. Are you saying it's going to be judged? And so are you saying there's a dog heaven? Or we humans are the only ones who have to have a say?
All animals also have, the same heaven as human beings. Because
so would they be judged?
They were all created by one man.
I guess it. So would they be judged?
Yes, certainly they will be judged in their own form of judgment.
Okay, then I fully understand. But I don't see the concept of judgment. The only thing that I know that exists in pure form is karma. Right?
So when people do bad, what happens to them?
They reap what they sow.
Okay.
That's all. That's karma.
Karma.
No matter whatever you're doing, you see, I tell people there is no good and there is no bad. That's the whole point. Killing isn't good and it isn't bad. Why do I say it? In Exodus, it says, thou shalt not kill. Right? In Joshua, it says, pick up your axe and kill those people. It just said a few chapters ago, do not kill. So why go kill now? So you realize the act isn't the sin. That is why in 1 Timothy, it says, sin is the transgression of the law. Right? So if there is a system and you go against it, there will be a repercussion. In this world, we live under a simple system that states that whatever you do, it shall be done to you. So if you're going to kill, please expect to be killed.
Are you hearing voices right now?
Not really. I have learned how to tune
off.
Yeah.
All right. So if you want to hear voices, you can open that now. I would like you to tell me what you are hearing right now from the spirits that are talking to you.
Oh no, they have their own conversation. They never really care about humans like that.
Okay, but do they talk to you if you want them to talk to you?
That's the point. No, unless it's something that is, let's say, dangerous. Then maybe. But if not, they don't really.
Okay, so when you were coming here, what did they tell you? Did they tell you it was going to be smooth? It was going to be nice? It was going to be boring? It was going to be great?
Oh, the only thing they asked me was, what exactly do I want when coming? I was like, they already know. Just access to the library just in case I'm asked some tough questions.
Have you been asked any tough questions yet?
To be fair, I mostly never use my head to answer any questions, so I don't
This
know.
is 3FM. This is 3FM.
I just started out using it, so...
Now, when you were at Presec, you had all access to some of these things.
Yeah.
So it means you saw question papers before you went into the examination hall?
Not necessarily. Like I said, with what I do, let's just say they do not care truly about education and stuff like that, because they see it as a form of sheeple system where nothing is really being taught. So they won't even bother unless. In my WASI, I actually cheated. I don't lie. In my WASI, I cheated throughout. No one knows my full name, so they won't go and check.
How did you cheat?
You get it? Using various techniques. I knew the answers people were given.
Okay.
And I also knew answers from other places. So
Okay.
that's what I wrote. I didn't learn from my WASI.
All right. So you just copied from other people
Yeah.
spiritually.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't, yeah.
And you passed very well.
Yeah, very well.
What did you get?
I can see.
You
But let's
can.
just see. I got good grades for Legon and Tech to both choose me.
If Preset gets to know that this is what you have said and they are able to trace your name and call you back to say they are taking back your certificate.
I just asked them for the evidence.
Okay.
That's all. I don't. Okay, I've said some. Where's the evidence?
Okay.
When it was done, is there a system that can track it? If it isn't, then let's just say I'm lying. That's all.
I see. I see. So a lot of people see you, they consult you,
Yeah.
and you tell them their future.
Yeah, basically, predominantly.
How are you able to tell the future? How long does it take you to tell somebody's future?
So it
Are
depends.
you a soothsayer? Are you a juju man?
No, I'm an oracle, basically.
Oracle.
Yeah. So an oracle is basically a medium between two forms. So that's the only thing I truly use. With the saying of the future, it depends on what type of which angle they are looking at, because people always say I want to know my future, forgetting the future is a diverse cluster of things. Your future isn't just what will I marry or will I not marry. It has to do with the type of children you have. So it depends on what the person is, where the person truly wants to have access to. Because if someone says they want to know their future, then it's based on something that they want to know that future. So I'll ask the person, what is that something? Then I'll know which angle I'm talking about, because I'm not truly going to tell you every single thing that's going to happen. When I do that, none of those things will happen.
Oh, none.
Yeah,
Wow.
if I tell you point blank now, 6 o'clock, you find money here, you would be going there at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
But I haven't told you that maybe you fell asleep and then someone called you and you rushed. Maybe I haven't even seen the full picture.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
Then I haven't told you the procedure to which now you found the money at 6 p.m. and you went there at 6 p.m. You're not finding that money.
Okay, so the best thing is just to, ignore it and then live your normal life.
So most of the time, that's why I try to understand why people want certain types of information, and I try to give them as much information as I can that will not sear a lot of the things I've already seen.
And your information, the source is not God. I know you're going to ask me what my definition of God is.
Yeah, predominantly.
Okay, is the spiritual being, the creator of the universe, the creator of all of us.
Yeah, but if you also check, it's not the creator, it's the creators. That's the problem. So if you check all the ancient religions,
So there's no one God.
Yeah, there wasn't one creator. There were a plethora of creators, right? Some say there were 7, some say there were 8 main creators before they had their sub people around. So if you check the Bible, it states when you read the Hebrew version, the Hebrew version, it states Elohim. Elohim is a plural entity. It isn't basically Eloah is the singular form. Elohim is plural. So when you check that, you check with the Egyptians, you check with the Sumers, you check with the Aztecs. They have the same ideology. So with the Creator, no. That's
Is
why I
there
said
anybody more powerful than you, Aho Kagya?
Is there anyone more powerful than myself?
Yes, you are an oracle.
Yeah, basically.
Is there anybody in the world who is more powerful than you?
I always say, to be fair, if you walk around saying you're the most powerful, you become a fool at the end of the day. So I'm just looking forward to someone who can get to even my dream state, or even can even touch me. Then I'll be like, oh, okay, you're strong enough. So there's no need to say I am stronger than anyone. If someone feels they are stronger, I don't have a problem.
Interesting.
with Tango.
Interesting. So if I tell you, if I ask you who would be the next president of Ghana, can you tell me that?
Maybe, but I don't do politics because of specific reasons.
You don't do politics?
Yeah. You see, these things can reach to a point where you become corrupted by those same people. Because when people actually find out that, whoa, look, he's actually powerful because he has said A, B, C, and all has happened, then they begin to target you with their own money. And then you may now become a prophet of the people instead of a prophet of what you say God. That becomes a very wicked sin. And that's what has happened to a lot of people who were genuine when they started. They really said the truth, but then with the influence of money over time, they have to change their words to please specific types of people.
The prophets that we have, the Christian prophets, do you think that they are actually hearing the voices of God, or they are hearing the voices of some of these spirits around you?
Some of them don't even hear anything. So
okay.
Some don't really even hear anything. Some just use psychology.
Psychology?
Yeah, most of the time. Like how someone will say, let's say, in February there will be a fire. Let's be smart. February is basically like a dry season. No matter what you do, like from January to February there will be fire somewhere. You get it? If you tell me December you see an accident, like it's going to be Christmas, people are rushing, there would be accidents. No matter what, I'm telling, this December we will hear over 10 accidents. It's not a prophecy. It's something that always happens.
But where your name is mentioned, where you are told that yesterday you did this and today...
That's a complete different thing.
That's different.
Yeah.
Are they hearing voices or what?
Some are just using tricks.
Some are using tricks.
Yeah.
Aho Kagya is my guest, and we have just 1 minute more to go. I wish I had another 2 hours to speak with you, because we haven't really gone into why I wanted us to have this discussion. But I want to say that we would have time again to invite you into the studio, and if you have time, we will certainly want to have you again.
I'll be happy.
But where do you see this beautiful company, 3FM, in the next few moments? Are you able to tell me anything?
All I'll say is there are moves within the industry, and they will be the cause of the fall of this.
A lot of industry, a lot of radio stations and TV stations are going to fall because of this one.
Yeah.
Wow.
So let's just say
they'll fall. Why are they going to fall?
I don't want to give reasons. I don't really want. I just want people to see me as the guy who laughs a lot.
Yes.
And for now, I don't want people to realize whether I'm a threat or not.
You know Giovanni, right?
Yeah, I know.
He doesn't believe in some of these things. Can you tell me something so that when he comes in, we would be able to, we will tell him something.
Well,
you know Giovanni, right?
I don't know him personally, but yeah, I've heard of him.
He has a big stomach and a very round, dawa-dawa-like head.
Maybe if I see him, we can do something, maybe. He doesn't believe in anything at all.
No, he doesn't believe in anything.
But he's an ever, if I'm right.
He's an ever, yes.
And he doesn't believe in anything.
Ekpelekpeji in the past, but now he thinks that those things don't really work. Yeah. So
he's a Christian?
He was born a Christian. I don't know if he's still a Christian.
If he's still a Christian, then it will make sense. Yeah, because you can't be a Christian and tell me you don't believe in anything.
Okay.
That becomes kind of like a tautology. But if I'm able to meet him, why not? I don't have
You'll be able to tell him something.
Yeah.
How about me, myself, and I sitting here?
Oh, you already know a lot about yourself. I don't really need to say much.
This is 3FM.
What do you think I don't know about myself that you need to tell me?
To be fair, I don't. Because of this interview, I intentionally watched 1 or 2 of your radio, and I realized you already, in terms of spirituality, you have a lot of knowledge of your own, and your persona is very good. You really won't be moved by the people, so there isn't something that I can see on radio that would really be anything that should affect you.
Interesting. Aho Kagya, I'm going to be talking to you outside this. A lot of people called me to ask you some questions. I didn't ask some of them because we really wanted to go into it. We're going to schedule again and see if we can have you and then go deeper into the science of these things that you're doing.
No problem.
I thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. Do you have any reggae song that you like so we can close with that?
To be fair, I don't really know a lot of titles.
Oh, you don't enjoy reggae music?
I listen, but I never have them in mind as titles.
Okay, so sing me any one of them so I'll play it for you. Anyone that you remember. Or ask the spirits to tell you one so we can.
Lucky Dube is like one person I enjoy his craft.
Oh, so you know Lucky Dube?
Yeah. I listen to a lot of he's more or less a philosopher. So.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
DJ Faculty is up next. And of course, Giovanni Caleb takes over from me. I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you.